we see a completely non-racial society. We don't believe, for instance, in the so-called guarantees for minority rights, because guaranteeing minority rights implies recognition of portions of the community on a race basis. We believe that in our country there shall be no minority, there shall be no majority, there shall just be people. And those people will have the same status before the law, and they will have the same political rights before the law. So in a sense, it will be a completely non-racial egalitarian society.
But will the vast number of blacks, after all their experiences, be able to live a life without giving vent to feelings of revenge, of
yes, we believe it is the duty of the vanguard political movement which brings about change to educate people's outlooks. I mean, in the same way that blacks have never lived in a socialist economic system, they've got to learn to live in one. In the same way that they've always lived in a racially divided society, they've got to learn to live in a non-racial society. They've got many things to learn, and all these must be brought to them and explained to the people by the vanguard movement, which is leading the revolution.
and freedom for all.
I have carried the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunity. It is an idea which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if need be, it is an idea for which I am prepared to die.
Okay, how do you feel about the nationalism and the segregation that happened in South Africa, or apartheid all those years ago?
Well, I wasn't a part, I didn't experience much of it, but then from what I heard and read about, it wasn't a good thing. It oppressed a lot of people, a lot of black people were oppressed, and yeah, there were like classes, different classes, so it was unfortunate, but then we're fortunate enough to have like equality and all that, the freedom to do what we want to do. So yeah, it's sad to know that the past generation didn't experience what we're experiencing now.
Okay, and as a first-time voter, the elections were held recently, and as a first-time voter, can you please tell us the experience for you?
Well, it was scary. I was skeptical at first, but then as it got nearer, as the elections got nearer, it got exciting, and yeah, I was excited about it, even though I wasn't initially, but then yeah, knowing that my vote could have made a change and a difference in our country.
Okay, and how do you feel about living in South Africa? I mean, now Mandela, you know, and everything. How do you feel living in South Africa? Because now we're like a rainbow nation and there's different cultures. I mean, we're the only country in the world that's got so many different cultures within one country. So how do you feel about living in South Africa?
Well, I think you touched on the major part that makes me proud to be a South African. We're very diverse. We're rich in culture in South Africa. There are a lot of different people, and we teach each other a lot of different things. So what makes me proud to be a South African is the fact that we're diverse and that we're willing. Yeah, South Africans are like, can I have a neck? Yeah, well, I can't put it in English properly, but then meaning that yeah, man, yeah.
How do you feel about the nationalism, the segregation, and the apartheid that happened in South Africa all these years ago?
I can't say much because I wasn't involved in it. After all, I am a born free. Regards to the documentaries and everything, I'm guessing our parents had to go through a tough time. Let's just say it was very chaotic, and yeah, it was just a very bad environment at that time.
What are your views on the elections? The elections were held recently, and how do you feel about that?
Firstly, I didn't vote when it came to the elections because of the mere fact I feel like my vote wouldn't have made a difference. ANC was going to rule regardless, because I feel like our parents live through fear, especially black people, live through fear that maybe if they vote for something else, apartheid will return and all of that. And I feel like regardless of the fact, I wanted a political party that would bring change and everything, but every political party was too focused on bashing each other instead of coming together and showing that they could, as like the political parties, they could make a change. But each political party is focused on bashing the other political party. So I didn't vote, and my views on the voting, it is what it is. ANC will still rule, I think, till I die.
How do you feel on being South African? I mean, we have such a diverse country now. Ever since apartheid, we have so many cultures and we're a big rainbow nation. So how do you feel personally? Are you proudly South African?
I am proudly South African. I love South Africa. It's a beautiful country. I just feel like there are certain it's not the whole race, but there are people that aren't over apartheid as such, but that can't only, like one bad seed, change the whole scenario of South Africa. But yes, I love being South African. I'm proudly South African. We've got a beautiful country.